What's happening, Cheesecake Nation? It is Supercharged Funk and the Dave blasting at you with another This Week in Wrestling. If you guys haven't already checked out the pay-per-view segment we did, it'll be in the description below, so go check that out. Because, it kind of went before this week, so, because, this is just how we decided to do it, just because the pay-per-views are their own kind of thing.
We got her. You'll get it. Get it, got it, good. Go, rock on.
Go do that. Come back.
Bill Goldberg. Bill goddamn Goldberg. Young man Bill Goldberg, winner of the feud, is going to be in the Rumble. I just saved you like a fucking hour and a half long opening segment. I literally was like, I think I'm not a wrestling fan anymore. So yeah, Goldberg is going to be in the Rumble. Yeah. Alright, let's continue on. What else happened on Raw?
Alright, next up was New Day versus Sheamus and Cesaro for another title shot.
And the New Day cheated again, so weird. They're the faces. The fuck, Raw. The fuck. First we got young man Bill Goldberg come back so he can put over no one, beat everything. And then you're like, oh, face tag team that we're trying to really like stretch this out for another couple months. Just keep cheating. That seems like good booking. They just cheat every feud. Every time they're for the title, they cheat. Become a running fucking joke. Don't care. Alright.
Yeah. So I just kind of want to throw this in there because it would lead into another match. This random little segment with Enzo walking around naked.
Yeah, what's up with sexually harassing Lana? Stop. It's fucking weird. Stop it. But she had like The Rock, and he's like, oh, I had sex with her. And it was awesome. Right, Lana? And she's like, no. He's like, haha, yeah, you did. And now it's like, hey, my dick's out. Let me rap about it.
How you doing?
Forget about it. I'm Italian. So it was just weird. And then, like, Big Cass being like, hey, fuck you, Rusev. Somehow I'm in the right. Like, you're naked. Like, alright. First and foremost, why was he outside the locker room? Where was he showering? Was there like a gutter and he was standing under it? That is the locker room. The locker room is where the showers are. Where was Enzo showering? Exactly. Bad segment. Bad. Bad, Raw. Alright, I think it already happened and we just kind of skipped over it. They had the thing where, like, Mick and Steph, or do you have that written down later? Their little talkie segment that was also horrible. And Mick's like, I thought you were going to fire everybody if they lost. And she's like, I obviously can't do that. It's all fucking stars. The hell would we do if we fired everybody? Both our champions. It's like, oh, I don't know. But we'll punish Sammy. Yeah, that makes sense. Fuck Sammy.
Yeah.
So.
That was kind of bullshit.
Yeah, it was just like bad continuity. Bad to the bone.
It would be one thing if you lost clean, then you could maybe somehow kind of understand. But considering The Miz cheated to win, so how could they possibly put that on him?
Yeah, and Team Raw lost clean. Clean as fuck.
But anyway, moving right along to Cedric Alexander versus Arya Daivari.
Daivari getting that good heat. First thing I liked, and then he's like, Canada, just like America, right? They're just like, boo, fuck you, we're Canada. We have Justin Trudeau. He's a giant cuckold. And just like good heat, good
Didn't one of the, I think it was Corey Graves, didn't he point out that he is from, like, Minnesota?
He's an anti-American from Minnesota. It makes sense. Good stuff. Good heat. Boo, Canada. You're
so
just
of course,
like us.
So, Cedric Alexander picks up the win. It was a nice little match, I can dig it. And then we had the highlight reel segment, because this whole spiel was to be like, oh, is this going to be the end to Jericho? And it wasn't.
Team Chris and Kevin. Yeah, this felt like
it went on way too long for what they were doing.
Yeah.
It'd be one thing if it was the end of Team Kevin and Chris, but
yeah, they hinted their hand way too early into the segment too,
Yeah,
where they're like,
absolutely.
you know, this is only one guy's fault. And they're like, yep, 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 yep. Roman Reigns. Like,
yeah, so they
just kind of they hinted.
it was a little, it was way dragged out. They just kind of overstayed its welcome. It would have been fine if it was a little bit shorter and they didn't do the thing that you just said. So,
like,
so
I don't care.
and you know the other guys, they came in and they did their little to do, which would end up in the main event, which we will get to when that comes. And then speaking of other things we talked about, it was Rusev versus Enzo, and Enzo gets completely squished.
Yeah.
It wasn't even a squash, it was a squish.
It was like weird. Like Big Cass is like all angry, but it's like, no, Enzo 1000% deserved this. He just like roamed up on a woman while naked and was just like, hey, my dick is out. I'm a good guy. Kids like me.
Buy my t-shirt.
Yeah.
It'll keep you from being naked.
Yeah,
How you doing?
Like, he 100% was in the wrong, and Rusev was 100% in the right. I get that, like, WWE is like, foreigners are bad. But, like, when was the last time Rusev actually did a healing thing? Like, you had Roman, who was just a giant douche nozzle for the entire feud. He's like, I'm going to make fun of your wife and then ruin her wedding. Face. Like, Roman's like, I don't appreciate that. Here is my family. He's like, your family's ugly and dumb, and I hate you. And Enzo is just like, I'm naked, my dick. Hello, Lana. And Rusev's like, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. And like, Cass is like, hey, that's not nice. My buddy here was just trying to have a nice naked conversation with your wife, because apparently we think that's all right wherever the fuck we're from. It was just weird and like so disconnected from reality. I was just like, the fuck is this? What the fuck, Raw? Who booked that segment? If it's the same guy that booked the other thing I said I liked, that agent should give a high five, take that high five back, and he doesn't deserve it anymore.
Back on neutral ground with that guy.
Just
Alright, so after that we had the Club versus the Golden Truth. Was there a point to this match? Like, or was this just a booked match? Like, was there like, I can't,
because they had time to fill.
I just couldn't remember like if there was like a reason why they were like in these particulars, but yeah,
No.
this was just
Bad.
Goldust putting in some work though.
He
I
is.
just, like,
They're trying. I'll give it to them. But like, the tag team division on Raw is just like everybody feels like it's not like you'd be like, all right, so you got the New Day, and then it's like everybody else. Everybody else just feels like fucking scum compared to the New Day. Like nobody gets wins. When they do, it's like just dumb shit, and they lose every important match.
yeah.
Like no one feels important. Just bad.
Alright, so then we had the Sami Zayn versus Braun Strowman.
Which was the only really redeeming moment other than Ari Daivari's awesome promo about Canada. So old Sammy just kind of got murdered around the ring for a while.
Yeah.
And then Braun Strowman beat him unconscious. And Mick Foley was like,
No.
stop the match.
Stop.
I did start this match, but stop it now. So when you get him a popsicle, and Braun, you get out of here. And then Braun was like, oh, apparently I'll do that, despite the fact I'm a monster heel. So I should just be like, no, and then punch the ref. And he's just like, and then kill Sammy. Braun.
Alright, so next up we had Charlotte's little promo about why she did what she did, which didn't really explain much of anything.
She doesn't like her. That's
Yeah.
all you need to know.
And then all the other girls came out, so then we had Sasha and Bailey versus Nia and Charlotte.
And this was just kind of a clusterfuck.
Yeah, it just wasn't very good. What happened, women's division? You guys were doing really good. You guys were putting on great matches.
They went back to the beginning of the Divas Revolution booking of everybody is the same and everybody is also good.
Like,
So no one is special.
I mean, like, SmackDown has been doing really good with their women's division. Why can you guys not do that?
because SmackDown has a hierarchy of women. It goes their champion, their #1 contender, a couple other women, and a couple other women, and then the bottom of the barrel, Carmella. So, like, you have a hierarchy. Whereas Raw, it's Charlotte, everyone else, Dana Brooke, Alicia Fox. Like, God damn it. You need to separate them. So, like, here's my issue with WWE right now. I could literally, like, take 2 fucking 20-sided dice, assign every number to 2 wrestlers, roll the dice, and be like, either one could potentially win. That should not be a fucking thing. There should be some sort of hierarchy where I'm like, oh, this guy, he's, you know, a top star, and this guy, he's, you know, he's a mid-card. He's like, he's a contender, but he's trying, but no, he would lose to this guy. Right now, the only guys I can kind of say, like, if they're in a match, they're probably going to win. Brock, young man Bill Goldberg, Cena, and AJ. I think those are like the only guys that kind of like guarantee you had. Charlotte's been hot potatoing, but unless it's on pay-per-view, because Charlotte always wins on pay-per-view. Like everybody else, like nobody really feels like they're being booked like a star.
Yeah, it's a shame.
All right,
so faces win. Then we had the #1 contenders match for the Cruiserweight Championship between Rich Swann, Noam Dar, and T.J. Perkins.
so
Which doesn't make much sense because T.J. Perkins
is Oda rematch.
is Oda's rematch.
Apparently, T.J. Perkins is a big dumb, and when he won the NXT Cruiserweight Classic, he didn't get in his contract that he would get a rematch clause. So I assume, kayfabe-wise, he's just dumb. Dumb is dumb. He's a big dumb. Alright, so your winner is Rich Swann, the only other person in the Cruiserweight division that's over. So, cool. So hopefully that'll give us something for TJ Perkins to do. If you put the title on Swann, at least Perkins will be like, I'm owed a rematch, and then he's like, hey man, I'll give you a rematch somewhere down the line. But then he snaps and turns heel and gives TJ Perkins a fucking character other than, I like Mega Man. I like Mega Man.
Video games. 1-ups and game overs and
like I dig the Mega Man music and it works, I guess. But like you need to go somewhere with this character. Like, other than like, hey bro, can we hit the reset and get a life and popcorn? Video game reference?
popcorn.
Nerd stuff.
Slowly roll the Cubert.
Yeah, like
bro, that doesn't even make any sense. Dude, alright. I know this has nothing to do with wrestling, but I went into GameStop the other day. They had a fucking Cubert Pop Funko figure. I was like this close to getting it, but I'm like, I don't fucking give a shit about Cubert.
Yet you were still that close to getting it. Alright, so back on topic. What we got going on now?
Alright, so main event was a no disqualification match. I think it was for the championship between Kevin and Seth.
And Roman and Jericho were banned from ringside.
But that doesn't stop Chris Jericho.
Because fuck continuity in this show. We're like the fucking Fox Mutant Hour of continuity. You ban Jericho, but guess what? He's there. Consequences? Who the fuck knows? I don't know. Apparently not. I assume Mick was taking a big massive shit.
Yeah, as long as, you know, shit going down and people enjoy the match, Mick and Stephanie don't seem to care.
Yeah, they ban people from ringside, but they're still at ringside. So
and if, you know, if you lose the match, but it's totally not your fault, they're going to get you myrtleized by Braun Strowman. But hey, as long as people like the match, they're okay with it.
So after his giant fucking horrible shit, Raw went off the air. Show the gift to Jericho, man. We're back with some Tuesday Night Delight SmackDown talk. Alright, welcome back, folks. Prepare for some SmackDown talk. SmackDown, I will say, was better than Raw.
It usually
But that is kind of like saying I would rather have stubbed my toe than fallen face first into the mouth of a shark. So, yeah. So we kick off with the segment that made me fucking hate myself as a wrestling fan. So it's like, Gene, I'm angry, so leave. But Dean, being wacky, zany, fucking Looney Tune Dean Ambrose just kept coming back over and over, and like it was kind of played off like a joke. And then, speaking of jokes, fucking Jimmy's there, and he's like, "Hey man, you're the man with two hands, fighting chances. He's like, you get a contract. You screwed over Braun Strowman." He's like, "I'd like that." And then AJ comes out, and he's like,
"This
"No,
man does
fuck
not
you."
deserve a contract, I tell you what."
Yeah, so he's like, "Well, I'll put my title on the line, your contract maybe, and something ladders match. Go." And then like Dean's still dicking around, and like I don't know. Let's continue on.
Alright. Next up was the Kalisto versus Miz.
I don't remember this match, but I'm assuming Braun Strowman did, or not Braun Strowman, Baron Corbin.
Yeah, Baron
Did
Corbin
thing.
came in and assisted the Miz. So that was something. But didn't oh no, that came later in the match, or later down the road. So yeah, this was okay up until the end, you know.
Kind of like stubbing your toe. Life is good up until you stub your toe. Then you want to die. Just like this match. Continuing on.
Then we had tag team turmoil, as they described it.
Alright, I'm going to talk to you about this stipulation right now. I enjoy a good gauntlet match, but you need a heel tag team to be the last guys, and they need to be known that they're the last guys so they can get heat. As this match went, it was just kind of like, hey, I'm shit tier. You're also shit tier. Oh, you're slightly better shit tier. Oh, you're top of the toilet shit tier. Oh, you're the fucking toilet bowl shit tier. Oh, you're the toilet seat. Oh, you're the back of the toilet. Oh, you're the fucking sink. Oh, shit. You're god tier. And you win. And then you beat another guy. And then the Usos. And they're like, oh, good match. And then whatever. So, like, you had a gauntlet match that didn't really make any sense. And then, like, yay, we won. American Alpha, we're going to get a push. And the Whites are like,
I don't think so, my friend.
Like, we could be in the match, but I don't want to. See you next week, assholes.
We're the wife and we don't play by anyone's rules except for mine. He's a Bray Wyatt.
You cut the Bray Wyatt, I'll cut the Randy Orton. We'll get you. Beep, boop, beep.
What did Randy say? He said, and fucking the entire time, Luke Harper's just like staring at Randy. So you kind of know something's gonna happen between them.
Yeah. Where's Eric Rowan? I'm gonna say it every week till Eric Rowan comes back.
We need like to put up like wanted posters. Like,
yeah, where's Eric?
Where's Eric Rowan? Why did he just disappear?
Are you trying to tell me Luke Harper and Eric Rowan is the same person, despite the fact they were a tag team for a while? Only one could appear at a time. WWE saving money.
It's like after the whole spiel of like them indoctrinating, trying to like beat up Randy, and then when Luke Harper came back, it was the very day Luke Harper came back that we never saw Eric Rowan again.
Yeah, like what the fuck, WWE?
Is this like a fucking like what they did in Lucha, where fucking Sinestro de la Muerte just absorbed the other guys?
Yeah.
Is that what Luke Harper did? He just absorbed the fucking soul.
Yeah, that's
Eric Rowan.
Now. You haven't seen a whole lot of fucking Michael McGillicuddy around.
Oh my God.
He absorbed him too. He needs to start wearing cargo shorts.
That's where Adam Rose went.
Yeah. Also absorbed him. He just absorbed the whole, he absorbed the bunny. So, yeah. So apparently, the gauntlet match for nothing. Fuck you, that's why. Continuing on.
Alright, then we had Becky versus Natalya, because Natalya was being kind of a bitch. For no particular reason. I guess this means she's still heel?
Who, Natty?
Natty.
Yeah, Natty's a heel. So, yeah. Pretty solid in-ring work, but it was just kind of like, no real reason to care.
Yeah.
They didn't really give us a reason.
Did fuck, I'm having a total brain fart.
Did I?
Did Alexa Bliss try to interfere at all?
I don't think so. They should talk for a while.
It's kind of weird. You'd think, considering they have a match coming up.
Yeah, but she's a confident heel, which is nice for a change. Because I agree, I do enjoy the cowardly heel, but not every fucking heel should have the same exact character of being like, oh, I'm scared of the dark. Yeah, so, I don't remember. Everything about this week got shit on by Survivor Series until about Wednesday, where I kind of forgot about Survivor Series for a while. And life was a little bit better.
So yeah, Becky ends up picking up the win. Next up, we had what was supposed to be Kane versus Baron Corbin, until Kalisto came out and kind of got his little revenge in.
Kalisto, our God Savior, saved us from that fucking clusterfuck match.
You're just gonna be like a huge Kalisto fan now.
No, he just for that 1 second.
I don't know if you guys can hear that, but Aaron was just out of nowhere just laughing at something really hard upstairs.
Despite the fact that like an hour ago she said she was going to bed.
Yeah, so she, I think she said she was like marathoning Bob's Burgers or something because that's like her sister's new favorite show, so she's giving it the chance. So
just a random hysterical laughter. We don't know if the camera picked it up, but it's just random in the background.
You're wondering why we're like just kind of like wondering what's going on, but
House, are you laughing? Are you laughing at Kalisto and someone being a Kalisto fan? No, that doesn't exist. So, alright. Yeah, thank God we don't have to be fucking suffer through that.
Speaking of suffering, the main event was AJ Styles versus James Ellsworth in a ladder match for Ellsworth's contract.
It's not funny anymore. Alright, so Jimmy and AJ. So you have literally like the best versus this guy that Vince thinks is funny. He's just like, he's got no chin. Wrestle that guy.
Laugh with me.
So,
Chinless.
Again, someone banned from ringside interfered in the main event 2 nights in a row.
He wasn't even banned from ringside. He was banned from the building.
He's also from ringside. Where was security with the sniper rifle to kill Ambrose?
Well, they're in Canada. I don't think they have those.
Where was the moose?
Yeah, the Mounties on Moose back.
Yeah, alright, if I know
Where's
anything
Dudley
about
Do
Mounties,
Right?
They have a shock baton. I remember the Mountie. Someone should have shock batoned Dean Ambrose into a coma and then dragged his ass out there and then like drowned him in maple syrup. Why did that not happen? That was
should have threw him in jail with somebody. They should have done like a goof like segment where they threw him in jail next to like Snidely Whiplash.
The only way I could approve of this match is if next week Dean Ambrose and Jimmy have to have a match where only one of them can be the #1 contender. So Ambrose, in fact, screwed himself over, and then AJ's out there trying to make Jimmy win. That is it. I refuse to call him his real name because fuck you, WWE, that's what. Alright, we'll be back with everything that happened on Wednesday, which is a lot of shit. So be prepared. Tighten them sphincters. Welcome back, assholes. Prepare for your Total Divas super fast review. Alright, so Natty is like, I'm going to be the top star. And we're all like, no, you're not. But she believes she's going to be. And Lana's like, hey, Natty, can you teach me? And she's like, sure. But secretly, she hates Lana for no particular reason. And she's just a giant cunt. She's like, why does she keep asking me for help? I only agreed to help train her. So then, like, Lana comes all, like, sexually just to Lana's house, and, like, Jim Neidhart's there, and he's just, like, weeming. He's like, let me teach you how to throw a ball, because you're Russian, and I was in Russia at one point, apparently. So he's teaching her how to throw the fucking shot put ball thing, and Lana fucks it up and throws it at Daddy's car, shattering her windshield. So, like, Daddy's like, I'm so angry, everybody leave. And, like, Lana's like, I'll pay for it. And she's like, that's not what this is about. But, like, Lana literally said she would take her car and get her windshield fixed. But, like, Natty's like, oh, now I have to spend all day getting my windshield fixed. So it made no sense, and Natty just came across like a giant cunt the entire episode. That was your Total Divas review of the week. Also, Nikki came off like a huge cunt, like every episode. It's not a spoiler. Guess what? Next week, Nikki's gonna come off like a cunt. Haven't seen it, but I'm gonna tell you it anyways. Spoiler alert. Alright, so, what do you want to do? Lucha or NXT?
I'll just go right into NXT.
The roar, the crabs on my feet. Alright, so, it's kicked off with a very, like, kind of long, what happened on TakeOver. So, everything that happened on TakeOver. Go watch that review. We're not going to review a review of a review. God damn it. Alright, so first match.
This was like the whole beginning of this up until like the final thing was like,
yeah,
like a recap, sandwiched, not a match, sandwiched with more recap.
Well, alright, so we had a not a match, followed by a not a match, followed by a fuck ton of things. So, alright, you had
what was supposed to be Rich Swann versus Kona Reeves.
Hawaiian Shaka Bra.
And it was alright, you know, it was kind of going off a little bit. Kona Reeves kind of...
I kind of like that, for no particular reason, Shaka Bra is just, like, booed tremendously. Like, he hasn't done anything. He doesn't have a gimmick. He's just like, hey, I'm a Hawaiian guy. And just like, boo! Fuck this guy. Fuck you and your puka shell necklace, you dick. Hope you get fucking, like, toe fungus. You dick. Fuck you, guy. You kind of, like, somehow remind me a little bit of Roman Reigns, so you get a little bit of Roman heat. Like, he didn't do anything to deserve the heat he has. But, yeah, so...
So this match ended up getting interrupted by Sanity, who just kind of came down and beat the shit out of both guys. You know, Rich Swann tried to kind of fight back, but he got the shit pushed in. And, you know, what the fuck's up with Eric Young's voice for this character?
He always kind of has a weird voice. He, like, smoked a lot of, like, asphalt. So, No Way Jose comes out being as unintimidating as ever. And he challenges all of them, and then when they all come down, he's like, wait, no, just Eric Young.
And so, like, they kind of, like...
They're like, alright, let's have a match, and then Eric Young's like, there's no referee. Fuck this shit. Everybody else come help me. And they just beat the piss out of No Way Jose. They're like, good match. What do you think, No Way Jose? And he's just like, oh. And I assume Rich Swann's corpse was somewhere out there. I assume The Undertaker would shock it back to life at 205 so he could compete for the Cruiserweight title. So, yeah. So, Sanity ruined 2 matches in a row. Congrats.
Yeah, that kind of made me a little sad, but...
And then, like, out of the hour show, we had, like, 55 minutes of fucking recap. Like, every match, like, did you watch TakeOver? You shouldn't have. Here it is now. And then we kicked it off with, well, a little bit of a promo with, what's her name? Newest girl? Dana Vespoli or something like that?
The MMA chick, or?
Yeah.
Oh, Daria?
Daria.
I don't think they pronounced it Daria. It was like...
Daria?
Yeah, it was like Daria Baronato.
There you go, that's the name. So she was there. She's all like...
MMA. What's it?
And Marilyn was freaking out. Yeah, she's like all shadow boxing and whatever. That's her gimmick, apparently. And her and Arkham's sexy inmates, Poison Ivy and Mrs. Freeze, they're kind of roamed to the ring with her. And they went against the fucking menagerie of the other 3.
Yeah, it was Liv Morgan, Aaliyah, and Ember Moon.
So I gotta take a special second to point out, like, they need to redo Aaliyah's picture on her little, like, fucking, like, pre-match thing, because that is not a flattering picture. She's all, like, looking down, like, forehead crinkled. It's like, fix that, WWE. God damn. Like, I would say that in general, but, like, her gimmick is, I'm a cute girl and a dancing, belly dancing, just like Catwoman. So it, like, really hurts her. So, yeah, whatever. It was just an alright match, in my opinion.
Yeah.
MMA Girl is not particularly great at MMA. granted, she's got to transition into wrestling, so I don't know. Maybe she's fucking awesome at MMA and just couldn't transition into wrestling. I don't know. But I wasn't that impressed by her.
Yeah.
So
give her time, you know, she might do better. Who knows? She could be worse. But.
And Ember kind of, the finish, she jumped a little early because like
I did notice that.
Daria hadn't even like turned around and she was like 9/10 of the way to her. Like Daria like turned and like immediately fell. She was like, oh shit. And she got the most devastating version of the.
Oh yeah.
A name. It's just like she's been eclipsed by Ember Moon, so I assume it's the eclipse. So yeah, all right. So the Arkham inmates bailed on Girlbane, I guess we'll call her.
So yeah, this was one you guys could totally skip.
Yeah, this was, if the match before it is the go home, this was the go to the outhouse show. This was the take a poop. Alright, so continuing on. Lucha Underground, whatever the Lucha song is. That's Alright, so we kicked off with
the debut of the Rabbit Tribe. Do you remember all their names?
But no.
Robert London? Is that his name?
Paul London.
Paul London, not a...
Paul London with his fucking giant cock piece, as people online are calling it. Cod piece is the official name for it. I don't remember his name, so I'm going to call him El Salto.
He's like Salter Manag.
And the other guy, I'm not even going to try to pretend I remember it, but it means bad luck. So, yeah, he was kind of a goofy-looking dude, and so was the other guy. And so
Vampiro kept trying to make us believe that they were constantly on drugs.
Yeah, like, hey, they're good wrestlers. They do drugs. So, like...
Yeah, I don't know what the hell that... It's like, yo, man, these guys are totally tripping right now, you know?
And, like, he tried to, like, compare. He's like, man, the Vikings did drugs, like peyote with the shamans. Like, are you on the drugs?
Like, how are you comparing... the fucking Clockwork Orange guy to a fucking Viking berserker? How the fuck?
Yeah, so the druggies lose because
they had to fight.
Bad, okay?
Yeah, their opponents were Phoenix, Drago, and Aerostar, and they kicked the shit out of them because they weren't on drugs. Because winners don't do drugs.
Drugs are bad, okay? So, alright, continuing on, we had...
then we get like another thing with like Cobra Moon calling out Drago. Because apparently Drago is her flavor of the month.
Well, he's part of the Snake Tribe.
Yeah, I know, but they never, like, she was all about one dude.
Oh, Dagu?
And now she was...
Yeah, Dagu left, so now she's after Drago. Because apparently she's attracted to a man with, like, a fucking 2-foot tongue that's black and spits acid. He's, like, 9/10 of the way to Xenomorph. So, yeah. Weird. So your next match, Don't Call Me AR, Dante Fox versus Killshot, who mask seems to be falling apart and he's growing like Kofi Kingston's hair.
Yeah, this was a nice little match, you know. Not too bad, not too bad.
Yeah.
Not quite
as... This was a little too indie-rific for my taste.
Yeah.
One of the big spots that I had a real issue with and I pointed out to Chudge was... Don't Call Me AR took a rolling cutter and got up first. And I was just like he immediately got up and then like looked and he was like, oh, you're still down. So he like, oh, I'm out on my feet. Ooh, Jesus. But it was like unnaturally long.
Yeah. And then the final match of the night was Sexy Star, the newly crowned Sexy Star.
We got a little bit of a promo between Mundo and Dario. Man.
Which have been really good. Like, these last few weeks, he keeps kind of getting in Dario's face.
So the only thing that's kind of important to mention out of it is Johnny Mundo has a restraining order against Angelico. So, see where that goes. I assume that'll probably be a plot point. Because Lucha does a pretty good job of keeping that continuity in mind. So yeah, like I was saying, it was the newly crowned Lucha champion Sexy Star versus
cosplaying as Rita Repulsa.
So she came out with purple lipstick, but like when she started the match, she had pink lipstick.
Yeah.
So I don't know if she
was like her costume. Like I was saying, I can't remember her name. What is the name of that? It's not. What the hell is the name of? It's not Gotcha Man. I think Gotcha Man is something completely different. It's like it's another Tatsunoko thing. I can't remember the fucking name of it. But yeah, she kind of looked like the villain from that. What if I could ever think of it?
Cool.
But, yeah, she kind of looked cross between that and Rita Repulsa. Fucking weirdo looking kind of gimmick. It was cool though.
And then Mundo came out in all black because he's a heel, and that's what heels wear. So, what are your thoughts on the intergender matches, just in general?
I mean, I usually don't mind them too much, especially on Lucha, but I don't know. Like, at least in this one,
top of the card, I just
like it was
like I
kind of hard
understand
to
putting Sexy over. She's definitely over with the crowd. I don't particularly think she's like the bestest ever. Like, I think Taya in just every category, is, other than being over with the crowd, is better. So like, it seemed like Mundo was pretty much just working around her. Like, he did a lot of really cool shit that she didn't have to do anything for.
right.
Like, he did the, he grabbed her by, like, the leg and then did, like, the splits and, like, took out both her legs at the same time to, like, tackle her. He had a lot of really cool submissions. Like, I don't know. She's so much smaller than him, like, when she was doing, like, the arm wringer spot. But you could tell, like, he had to turn into him to, like, sell. Because she's so much smaller than him, like, I don't know. I can deal with them in the mid card, and especially like in like more of your fun kind of jokey matches, or even like in a tag team kind of thing. Like, it kind of worked. Like when Evil East first showed up, she was in the tag team. Like that works.
Yeah.
Top of the card for the title though, you're kinda,
It does seem kind of strange.
Yeah, it's like you're talking about the best of the best, and like it'd be one thing if you had a female competitor that was at that level, but
right.
Sexy is just, she's not at the Mundo level. She's not a Puma, she's not a Phoenix, and she definitely doesn't have the size. Like, if you had Nia Jax, or somebody like that
a little
size,
more believable.
yeah, or you had somebody who could actually work at a Phoenix, Puma kind of level, I wouldn't have an issue with it, but she's just not that good.
Yeah.
So,
not to take anything away from her. It's just,
yeah,
it is what it is.
Like, she's good, but she's not top of the card good. Granted, most of the roster is not top of the card good. Let's be fully like fair.
Yeah.
I named the 4 I think are top of the card good. Maybe Drago if you give him a little bit of like a personality. But
yeah, honestly, if you thought Sexy Star was going to keep this title, you're crazy.
So, I was a little, I mean, I get it, you have to keep the face protected. So what happened was, Mundo dragged a person wearing a Sexy Star mask out of the crowd and stole their crutch. And Sexy ended up with the crutch and swung at Mundo, who rolled into the ring, distracting the ref. He's like, hey, stop her from the crutch, and like the ref turns to Mundo and he's like, stop being a bitch, effectively. And then the broken leg person with the Sexy Star mask has brass knuckles on and punches Sexy Star in the head and then falls down and is just like, yeah, I'm dead. Mundo goes out, rolls Sexy in. Sexy kind of like didn't straighten out for the end of the world, so it kind of looked pretty bad.
Yeah.
And despite being knocked out, she like very obviously and like very heavily like flinched on the finish, and like he went super duper ridiculously soft. Like pretty much only his hands touched her.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, it wasn't good. But Mundo's at least the champ, so, and you could see on his face it meant a lot to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see where they're going to go. I hope he has a nice long title reign, because as of right now, I don't see anybody who should have the title over him. Like, Puma is dead, I guess. He'll come back, I assume. Pentagon seems like he's got enough on his plate.
He's going to have a bunch of fucking Asian women attacking him and all that sort.
Yeah, Bill Muertes, he seems busy with whatever he's doing.
Trying to figure out where to bury
yeah.
Prince Puma.
Matanza, I assume, will probably come back, maybe. That's but heel is kind of weird, especially in Lucha. They're generally not about that kind of business. So, I don't know. I don't really see who's going to be the number one contender. And Helico, maybe, but at the same time, he has no personality really set yet. Other than, like, I jump off of shit. My gimmick is I fall from
with
very
style.
high up.
I fall with style.
So, yeah, well, curious to see where they're going to go with this. But all in all, pretty good Lucha. Kind of light on storyline, though, gotta say.
Yeah.
Because we had kind of a lot of story in the last few weeks, and then this week and last week we're a little on the light side. So I'm hoping we'll get a little bit more story kind of coming up. Because we did get that whole, like, oh, who is the daughter that has immortality? Are they both daughters? I mean, like, we'll eventually get to it kind of thing.
Yeah.
So hopefully we get some more little tasty bits.
All right. So, what do you think was the show of the week?
Alright. Probably.
This one, I'm going to have to give it to Lucha. Nothing particularly was that good this week.
Yeah, Lucha's main event was probably... I'm not going to give any show, because I don't feel like any show really deserved it. I'm going to put up match of the week, and I think there's really only two contenders. Strowman and Sammy, which told a pretty solid story for how short it was, and the main event of Lucha. So I'm cool with either one winning.
Okay.
I would probably just give it to Mundo because it was for the title.
Yeah.
And as a title mark, you know, I just have to kind of give that a little slight edge. Those are really like, this was a really kind of...
Yeah, this was kind of a bum week, to be perfectly honest.
So SmackDown has to be good this week effectively to sell TLC. So hopefully this week will be good. Hopefully Raw will kind of get out of the slump they built for themselves this week of just nothing making sense.
Yeah, so...
NXT should kind of open up a little bit.
Yeah. Going into Japan next few weeks, so a lot of shit going on. Hopefully the stories and the matches will sync up and all will be right in the wrestling world. But until then, I'm Super Judge Funk.
Okay.
And we will catch you guys next week in wrestling.